Remember back in the good old days of 2019, when life was so good we could do things like raid Area 51 for fun and cosplay as soldiers while choosing a JavaScript framework? Back when you could go to a sketchy coding bootcamp, learn a few days worth of Backbone.js, and immediately land a six-figure job. That was before murder hornets, NFTs, Morbius, and before AI wiped out every junior developer. When work-life balance, ping-pong tables, and paychecks bigger than real licensed engineers weren't enough. We also had to pretend we were so overwhelmed that if we had to learn one more thing, we'd quit and become literal farmers. We even invented a new medical condition for the psychosis, JavaScript fatigue. The idea that there were so many free, open-source, volunteer-led libraries and frameworks that it was just too much to learn them all while also trying to unlock Fortnite's Battle Pass every season. But while things are a bit different today, there's one man crazy enough to think he can bring back JavaScript fatigue. In today's video, we'll take a look at this new UI framework and decide whether it'd be easier to learn it, or just become a coal miner instead. It's November 6, 2025, and you're watching the Code Report. These days, if someone tells you they've made a new UI framework, you should probably ignore them and call McGruff the crime dog, because they're likely on DMT, telepathically conversing with machine elves about button hover states in the 7th dimension. The one exception, though, is Dominic Galloway. Dominic first became popular about a decade ago when he released Inferno. Think of it like React. If React were actually fast, nobody really used it, but it was impressive enough to get him an offer at Facebook, where he joined the React core team in 2016. A few years later, he realized that working on React kind of sucks, so he joined Vercel to work on the Svelte core team in 2023. A few years after that, he realized he's actually a peacock who needed to fly, and his time on both the React and Svelte core teams made him uniquely qualified to do it all again. That brings us to his latest creation, a new TypeScript framework called Ripple, a compiler-driven view library for the web, based on a superset of JSX. As you might guess, it looks like the love child of Svelte and React, with just a hint of infidelity with solid.js. You define a component with a component keyword, then use JSX-like syntax to describe your UI. But unlike JSX, instead of writing expressions, you write statements, meaning you can do cool stuff, like if statements or for loops directly in your template. You can also use but Ripple's best feature might be how it handles reactivity. You use the track function to create a value that can change over time and prepend it with the A sign whenever you need to read or write it. With fine-grained rendering, Ripple will surgically apply any DOM mutations it needs. Although it's brand new, it already comes with prettier and ESLint support, a VS Code extension for syntax highlighting and IntelliSense, and of course, full TypeScript integration and type checking. Who knows if it'll catch on? But if it doesn't, you can always have your AI write your React code for you using Kuro. The sponsor of today's video, Kuro is a new AI IDE created by AWS, built for larger, more complex projects using an approach called spec-driven development. Instead of diving straight into code, Kuro starts with a requirements.md file to define your user story and acceptance criteria. It then creates a design doc outlining your architecture, plan and testing strategy. Those specs are merged into an implementation file where each task defines what code the AI should write, and you can track progress along the way. You can even automate repetitive jobs by setting up agent hooks that trigger on specific events, like updating documentation whenever you save a file. Kuro shines especially on team projects, where consistent design docs and clean code quality actually matter. Try it out for free using the link below, or join the Kuroathon Hackathon to unlock all their pro-tier features and see if it lives up to the hype. This has been the Code Report. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.